Today we're back with another rebuild here on the channel, and I chose Crystal Palace. Why? Because somebody on a previous rebuild video weeks/months ago suggested it, and since then they've gone and won the FA Cup, so kind of takes the gloss off this. But hey, let's go and see if we can do better than the real life Palace. Let's get into it. So we're on an updated database, which means we do not have Michael Olise. We have £26.06 million in the bank. No, we don't. That's the current profit loss. We have £89.55 million in the bank. We've got £30 million to spend this season. Who have we got then in terms of our players? We've got Mark Gurhey, of course, who's amazing. We've got Maxence Lacroix, who is a great centre-back here on Football Manager. He's not as good on this one. He's better on older ones, but he's still very solid, especially for the level that we are at Crystal Palace. Some of the good players in here. I mean, Trevor Chalobah, who's in on loan. I think I got rid of him because he's out for 6 to 7 months, so I think I just offed him straight away. Some great players that come that are phenomenal. Adam Wharton. This guy is one of the best up-and-coming young central midfielders on the game with a very high dynamic potential. So I was very keen to build the entire team around the Wartmeister. So that's where we're sort of looking. Big Adam Wharton. He is your man. Tactically, I've not set the tactic up here. I'll show you the tactical setup at the end of the first transfer window. But in terms of the squad, I'm reasonably happy with where we are as the squad. Of course, over the course of this rebuild, the goal is to win a domestic cup, a Premier League, and something in Europe. I don't think we'll quite win the Champions League, but if we have a couple of maybe 6th or 7th place finishes, I think a Conference League, maybe a Europa League is definitely on the cards. Or maybe win the Carabao Cup and then we go on and win the Conference League from there. Who knows? But I think we've got a lot of good talent at our disposal. You know, Eddie Nketiah is pretty decent, pretty tasty, quite quick. So he's going to do a job for us up front in the beginning. You know, you've got someone like Ebere Eze, who's a great player. He's quite versatile. You've got Daichi Kamada. He's not bad as a cam. So yeah. Look, got some good players at our disposal. Czech Decore as well. Big fan of him. And a bit of value amongst some of the players as well. So hopefully we can actually... What is going on? Why is this... There we go. Let's just get rid of that. Financially, so yeah, as mentioned before, we've got £30 million to spend. And we've got 20k in wages. So not a lot in wages. We're probably going to overspend in wages, but you know, with a few installments, we can probably stretch that 30 mil to maybe 45, 50, which I think is what we're going to have to do with Crystal Palace, especially in this first season. Now, in terms of the competitions, the Premier League, the media think we're going to finish 12th. So 12th, the media think we're going to finish, but the board want a top half finish. Now, for me, with England, like realistically, a lot of the times you see 5 places for the Champions League, then you've got a Europa League place and a Conference League place. That's 7 teams. And if one of the big teams wins a domestic cup, or both domestic cups, Carabao and FA, 8th and even 9th can get Europe. So, yeah, Europe's on the cards in Season 1. So, yeah, let's go and stretch that budget and let's go and sign some players. Let's check in at the end of the transfer window of Season 1. We'll see what we did. Well, it's been a very impressive start here at Crystal Palace. It's the 2nd of September. The transfer window has slammed shut. And we are top of the league. Okay, Liverpool have a game in hand. We have lost a game. We lost 1-0 to Everton. And we have won 3 games, beating Villa, Newcastle and Arsenal. Not the easiest games, to be fair. You know, Champions League qualification for Aston Villa and Arsenal. And Newcastle are up there as well, all qualifying for Europe. So realistically, the team that we've lost to is probably the worst team of the lot. Chelsea played 3, lost 3 down here. Could be another relegation on the cards in one of my rebuilds. We won't be rebuilding Chelsea from the Championship again. Don't worry, everyone. So, the transfers. What have we done in terms of transfers? Well, we let Jeffrey Schlupp go to Luton. And what else? That's it. We've let Jeffrey Schlupp go for £2.8 million. And we've signed, literally, 2 players. We've signed Wilfred Gnonto from Leeds for £17.5 million. Which some of that is in installments, but £17.5 million. He was available for quite cheap because Leeds are still in the Championship. He just wasn't really feeling it, and as soon as I went in, he wanted to leave, and yeah, a little bit of back and forth. £17.5 million. Wilfred Gnonto. Now, you know, his polygon doesn't look the best, but he's quick. He's good at dribbling. He's very versatile in this front 4 positions, which is very good for me, considering this is our tactic. We play a classic 4-2-3-1. We like to overlap with the wingers, and we've got 2 inside forwards. Of course, defensive midfielders on this game. I like a deep line playmaker, to be perfectly honest. However, double defensive midfielders is just terrific on this game. So I've gone with double defensive midfielders. We've got an attacking midfielder on attack, advanced forward. So the 4-2-3-1, there we go. Supporting wing-backs, of course, and attacking inside forwards. Attacking mentality, there's the instructions if anyone cares. And so Wilfred Gnonto can play in any 4 of these positions, which is going to be fantastic for us with our limited squad. And he's young. He's 19 years old. He's got potential, so he will improve, hopefully. And who else did we get? Well, we went to RB Salzburg in Austria, and we bought Moritz Kiergaard, who I bought with someone on a different save. I don't know whether that was something I put out on YouTube. Was it a rebuild? Was it? I don't think it was the Fresh Prince of West Yorkshire. It might have just been a save that I was just pottering along with that was just nothing to do with anything on the channel. Anyway, I like him. Again, versatile. He can even play here. Not that we play central midfielder, but he can play in all of these positions. Not that you would play him up front either with 9 finishing, but still, you know what I mean. Versatility is key. He's got potential. 17.5 million again with add-ons, installments, should I say. 60 to 80 million now. So even if the Gnonto and Kiergaard don't stay for the 5 seasons that we're here, hey, big sale. Could maybe go and spend some big money on someone else, especially considering he's only 20 years old as well. So he's got plenty of time to grow, plenty of time to reach his potential, and bags of potential at that. So we've played 4, won 3, lost 1. Looking at the schedule, we beat Arsenal 3-1 on the opening day, Eze, Sarr and Lacroix. Then we lost 1-0 to Everton with Jesper Lindstrom goal. We beat Newcastle 3-0 at St James's Park, Gnonto, Sarr and Nketiah. In the Carabao Cup second round, we won 7-1 against AFC Wimbledon, and then we just beat Aston Villa 2-0, Gnonto and Eze. Finances, we've got £4.8 million left, and we've got much more in the wage budget as well. So I think what I've done is I've seriously used quite heavy installments on those 2 players in order to facilitate more money going into the wages, because I didn't want to find myself in a position where if any of my players are running out of contract or they want new contracts, especially players like Mark Gehi, Czech Decore, Adam Wharton, some of your big hitters, if they want a new deal, they're getting a new deal. They're the guys that I'm building this team around. So going forward, I need to have a little bit of wiggle room in the wage budget to accommodate that kind of stuff. But on the whole, quite pleased with the squad. Quite pleased at what we're looking like, and we're quite pleased with the start we've made. So off we go to the end of season 1 and see how we fared. Can we qualify for Europe? Well, the answer there is a resounding yes. We finished in 5th, and as you can see here, Europa League qualification. We lost to United on the final day, which meant we were 3 points behind Manchester City, who beat Spurs. Our goal difference is 36, theirs is 30. If we beat United on that final day, or City had lost to Spurs, or we'd both drawn, we would have been ahead of them, and would have been just behind Arsenal. But Arsenal won 4-0. If we'd have beat United, we lost a goal there, so that would have been 37. If we'd have won 1-0, we'd have been the same as Arsenal. Maybe a 2-0 win, we'd have gone up, we could have been in 3rd. We could have been in 3rd. But as it stands, we finished in 5th, and it says at the moment we're going to be in the Europa League. However, spoiler, we are actually going to be in the Champions League because everything sort of works itself out and we do qualify for the Champions League. Now look at this, the Golden Boot, Daichi Kamada, 19 goals this season from central attacking midfielder. He played as a cam, 25 in all competitions, but 19 in the league. He was 3 clear of Erling Haaland, and he has managed to get us up into 5th. What a great player he's been for us. 27 years old, worth quite a bit. Will he stay? Or will he be snapped up by someone? I mean, Saudi Arabia are coming knocking. Let me tell you now. He's just got the Golden Boot and he's been our player of the season. I'm just looking at that value. And I'm looking at the 2 teams that want it being Saudi Arabia. I'm looking at 60 plus million for him. Would I let him go? You better believe I'm letting him go every day of the week and twice on Sunday. He is not staying for £60 million bids. No chance. He will be out of the door. Daichi, you got your passport, lad? I'll get the engine on. Take him to the fucking airport myself. So there we go. Qualified for the Europa League. At the very least. Champions League, possibly. Let's have a look at the squad. In terms of appearances, it was our defence, really. It was Tyreek Mitchell and Mark Gehi that had the most appearances. 11 assists and 2 goals for Tyreek Mitchell, our left-back, who he's a very good player on Football Manager. He's a very good, solid wing back, and he's not that expensive at the beginning. So if you're a team that's someone like Palace or someone who's a bit higher up than Palace, he can do a job. And look who wants him: Leeds and Saudi Arabia. I don't know why Leeds are chasing him, but anyway, look, 40 odd million pounds. Would I let him go? We'd see. We'd have a look. We'd certainly have a look at the bids. Maxence Lacroix wanted again by Saudi. Ismail Assar, Burnley and Leeds. 25 goals for Kamada. Nketiah, 18. Nonto, with his debut season, 15 goals, 8 assists. What a signing he was. Adam Wharton, 14 assists. Ebere Eze, 9 goals, 18 assists. Moritz Kiergaard, bit of a sub-merchant, to be honest. He didn't really make the impact I hoped he would. But, hey, we finished 5th, and our other signing, Nonto, was phenomenal. So, all in all, a phenomenal season. Now, we've got £54.5 million to spend. That's before we get told we're in the Champions League. I don't think they change it for us anyway. I don't think they'll change it for us. Let's have a look at the other competitions. So in the third round of the FA Cup, we played Stoke City and we won 6-0. However, we succumbed to West Ham, losing 2-1 in the fourth round. So no cup run there. The Carabao Cup, however, we beat Wimbledon 7-1, as we saw. Then the third round, we beat Aston Villa 7-0. 4 goals for Jean-Philippe Mateta. Off the bench. 2 goals in stoppage time. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer it. He did that against Nottingham Forest in 99. Came on at 4-0 or 4-1. Andy Collins, Dwight York both had 2 apiece. Who's going to get a hat-trick first? It was Solskjaer, because he got 4. Fourth round, another 7-0. We were scoring for fun in the Carabao Cup, ladies and gentlemen. 7-0 against Swansea City. The quarter-final was 2-0 against West Ham United. And in the semi-final, we played Tottenham Hotspur, where we drew 2-2 in the home leg, but we won 2-0 in the away leg, which set up a final against Manchester City at Wembley. And in that final, we won 2-1. It was goals for Eddie Nketiah and Daichi Kamada. Tyreek Mitchell with the own goal, so Man City didn't score a goal themselves in that game. And by 20 minutes, the goal scoring was done. Matt Turner was man of the match with 3 saves, apparently. And that was it. 2-1. Conference League qualification secured. And then we ended up qualifying for the Champions League. So, with £55 million to spend and Europe to contend with, we need to bolster out this squad. We might sell some of the players that are worth a lot that I think are probably a bit overpriced, especially with Saudi Arabia sniffing about. So, yeah, let's go to the end of the transfer window of Season 2, see what we did. So once again, we find ourselves top of the league at the end of August/start of September. The transfer window is shut, and eagle-eyed viewers may see one of our new signings already here in the average rating column. It's Miguel Gutierrez. More on him in a moment. In terms of finances, we've got £6.5 million left to spend and about £70,000 a week in wages available. Go on to the transfers. Well, in terms of the transfers, if we go back to the back end of last season, we had Miguel Gutierrez, who came in for £30 million. That was his minimum fee release clause. Even though Tyreek Mitchell was phenomenal at left back last season, I went for Miguel Gutierrez simply because he's a young player, he's better, he had a minimum fee release clause of 30 million, he's worth a lot more now, and I think Saudi Arabia was sniffing around Tyreek Mitchell, so I thought maybe we'll let him go. And we did just that for £55 million. So we have upgraded our left back and made a profit of £25 million. So already you're talking about £25 million plus the £55 million we had, that's £80 million to spend. Happy days. And speaking of other sales and other signings, I'll just get rid of the sales first. Daichi Kamada, Real Madrid came in for £49 million. Now, to be honest, when Saudi Arabia were sniffing about and he was worth 55 to 62 or whatever it was, I was hoping 60 plus million pounds was going to come in. But Real Madrid came in for £49 million. He wanted to leave, and I looked at him and I thought, £49 million for him. Could we get better than him for £49 million? Unequivocally, yes. So I sold him. Off he went. And I decided to go bargain hunting. Now, Talis Magno, he was very cheap, £6.5 million from New York City FC. Again, very versatile. And, he's a bit hit and miss on Football Manager, isn't he? He's got a dynamic potential range where he can improve quite a bit or he can sort of stagnate. And he looks kind of decent. So I thought, you know what? For £6.5 million, he's worth a punt. And if we sell him on for £25 million in a couple of seasons, hey, it's a nice profit and he's a good squad option. Considering we've got Europe to contend with this year, we need players like this in and amongst the squad. So Talis Magno came in for £6.5 million. Then I went to Juventus and I thought, let's go and get a youngster, Fabio Moretti, £30 million from Juve, who can play as a central attacking midfielder. So is he going to play instead of Deji Kamada? Well, he's possibly going to play instead of Deji Kamada. He's going to be the man we're going to potentially focus that sort of position around. Hopefully, if he reaches his potential, hopefully he'll have a decent season for us. But yeah, £30 million, again, a profit that we made on Kamada. And then Juve also had Weston McKennie on the transfer list. So for £9 million, I thought another good squad option. He's versatile, play defensive midfield, and he can also play in other positions that we don't play. But he can also play in positions that we don't have in our formation. So, you know, his versatility is completely fucking pointless. But he's all right, isn't he? He's a big, strong, tall lad with good aerial ability. I just imagine him, you know, a tenacious midfielder is right, media description. You know, bring him on, 30 minutes to go, you're 1-0 up, Weston, go and cause some aggro, I guess. I don't know. Hey, look, he's come in and he's not played yet. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with old McKennie. But yeah, £9 million, bit of a bargain. Just again, filled out that squad, filled out our, it gives us some options to rest some players in other games. Elias Gelair, the right back, who can also play left back, but he's very, very weak on his left foot. So he will be a right back for me. 13 tackling, 14 dribbling, 13 crossing. He is exactly what I look for in a fullback. £23 million from Galatasaray. We have secured our fullback positions now. Gutierrez and Gelair, I think we're sorted at fullback. We've got Gerhi at centre back. So, you know, 3 of our back 4 is all sorted. We've got Adam Wharton in central midfield, sorted. You know, we are literally cherry picking players and going, build around them. And we are slotting players in that are going to hopefully be here at the end of the 5 years and be pretty much world class, spearheading us on to the Premier League and maybe even Champions League glory. Vicente Pizarro, a man who I have with Leeds in the Fresh Prince of West Yorkshire save, he was very good. I think I got him with Leeds. I might have got him when I was in the Championship or when I just came straight up to the Premier League. And he's just been a very, very solid player for me for many years. Good potential, very cheap, worth a lot. So, yeah, I thought let's dip back into the well of someone we know and just, again, fill out our defensive midfield slots. Now we've got a good few players in defensive midfield that I can actually count on, because there's a couple of players like Jefferson Lerma. I'm not a big fan. Wasn't feeling him last season. Wasn't feeling him at all last season. So, and he's worth a lot. So he'd be one I'd be looking to get rid of. Sorry, Jefferson. And we needed a substitute goalkeeper, so I thought, let's get someone who is relatively cheap and will be happily just come and sit as a backup. Well, Stefan Ortega was the man. £2.8 million from Man City, which left the final signing of £33 million for Emmanuel Omega, who, again, I believe I had for a stint on the Fresh Prince of West Yorkshire save, he's very good. Again, he's a striker in the mould that I like on Football Manager. Tall, good at heading, reasonably quick, decent finisher. You know, he's got all the trademarks of a decent striker. He's a poor man's Ben Sesko, if you will. You know, he's the FM24 version, in my opinion, of Lorenzo, a bit shorter version of Lorenzo Luca. You know, looking at his polygon, he's Lorenzo Luca-esque. And I think it was FM22 and maybe 23. Lorenzo Luca used to be the boy. So, you know, I thought, we'll go and get Omega, give Eddie Nketiah a little bit of competition. Again, he's worth a lot now. So if someone wanted to come in next season for him, I'd happily sell him. And that's it. That's the signings. And as you can see, we're top of the league. Played 4-1-4, beating Luton 2-0 with a brace from Sarr. We beat Chelsea 4-0. Eze with 2, Gutierrez and Wharton on the score sheet. Brentford we beat 1-0, Talis Magno. And Everton, we got revenge from them beating us last season at this early stage. We beat them 3-1. Moritz Kjærgaard has actually made some appearances as well this season. And yeah, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. So we've got Dortmund in the Champions League, Ludogorets, Anderlecht, Barcelona, PSV, and Sparta Prague. On we go to the end of season 2. Can we qualify for Europe again? We absolutely can. It is 4th this time in the Premier League, considerably clear of Manchester City. Again, it says Europa League football, but I'm telling you now, we will get Champions League football, finishing in 4th. Another team that's got Champions League football, Nottingham Bloody Forest, who've got Champions League football, finishing down in 18th, getting relegated. They've won the Europa League in 2025. That just goes to show how strong the Premier League is. A relegated team has won the Europa League. Emmanuel Omega had a great first season with us, 21 goals in the league, and Moritz Kjærgaard, 7.33, our player of the season. So he's really come into his own this season. He's absolutely kicked on as well. Worth quite a bit. His polygon looks so much more healthy. And these are, I think quite a few of these 11s probably weren't at 11s before. So he's looking a lot more colourful over here, if you will. Tottenham winning the league as well. So despite the fact that we beat Manchester City in the league, Manchester City absolutely fucked us in other competitions. The Emirates FA Cup, knocked out by the 4th round by Manchester City, and knocked out in the 3rd round by Man City in the Carabao Cup. So we didn't defend our trophy. In terms of the Champions League, we've played 8, won 7. We only lost to Roma in the Champions League. We beat Tottenham, Sparta Prague, PSV, Barcelona, Anderlecht, Ludogorets and Dortmund. We qualified 2nd in the league phase. We weren't in the knockout playoff round. Then in the round of 16, we beat AC Milan, or Kaskiewicz to you and me, 5-2 on aggregate. We got to the quarter-final and we lost 5-4 to Manchester City. So Manchester City knocked us out of the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, and the Champions Bloody League. So Manchester City really did us dirty in the cup competitions, but we did them dirty in the league. £60 million to spend and about £200,000 available in wages. Now, did anything happen in January in terms of transfers? No one came in and nobody went out. Oh, sorry. Yes, Jean-Philippe Mateta went out for £4.5 million to Cologne. Yeah, so not a lot. But so yeah, there you go. We've got £60 million to spend. The board think we're getting a B+. Back Champions League qualifications, just a B+, and a Carabao Cup win. And the supporters think the same. Yeah. I mean, okay, reach the latter stage of the Europa League is what the objective is. We're not going to be in the Europa League, boys. In the Champions League, record a Premier League top half finish is still the objective, and we're qualifying for the Champions League. B+. So in terms of the season, as you can see here, Emmanuel Omega, 28 starts, 10 off the bench, 24 goals, just the 1 assist. But Moritz Kiergaard, 24 goals. So he really took on the mantle of the central attacking midfield role and took it on himself to take over from Kamada. So £49 million coming in, £30 million going out for Moretti, who didn't play as much as I would have wanted him to be honest. Eddie Nketiah had a decent season, a bit more of a winger this season, playing on the right or the left. Ebere Eze, 12 goals, 15 assists. 11 assists for Gutierrez in his opening season. Nonto with 13 assists. Not as many goals this time around, but still did pretty well. Gutierrez, yeah, as I said, did really well. Where is our other right fullback? Elias Gillette. Goals and assists weren't really thriving from him, unfortunately, but, it is what it is. Pissarro, again, 28 games, 16 off the bench. He was very much a regular feature. And Adam Wharton, he's really starting to fulfill his potential. And yeah, value-wise, he's got a new contract. Polygon's looking healthy. And look at this. Fantastic. Okay, so season 3, end of the transfer window, go. £60 million to spend. If only the season finished in August. Look at that. Once again, you find us top of the league, played 3-1-3. And yeah, starting out fantastically well. In terms of the finances, we've got £5,000 left in the transfer budget. And we are overspending by about £75,000 on wages. There's a reason. I had to wait, scratch and claw and try and sell, beg, borrow and steal and get rid of every player that I didn't want, slightly cheaper than I really wanted to, for the big marquee signing. So, without spoilers, I'll bring that to you last. Let's go and look at some of the sales. So firstly, Eddie Nketiah left for £60 million to Manchester City. Now, I wasn't really feeling this, but it could go up to £76 million. But he wanted to leave, and I was on the fence. But you know what? I thought he hasn't played as much in that second season. His second season wasn't as impressive, even though his average rating was more impressive. Played more on the wing. And I thought, I'm probably going to be able to go and get a winger that I'd probably bring in that'd probably suit us better. And I couldn't help myself. I literally couldn't help myself. I know I buy him on most rebuilds, but he's really fucking bargy, isn't it? He is the best youngster, and he's my favourite. I love him. He's just so good. Cutting in on that right-hand side, on his left foot. I mean, £16.5 million as well. Like, literally handcuffing myself if I don't get him. I could afford him. He wanted to come. No bugger else was buying him. I was like, someone's going to have to buy him. Might as well be me. So it was. I then brought Andre from Wolves, who I believe got relegated. So he wanted to leave. He was on the transfer list by request for £35 million. I stumped up the £35 million cash. Again, bolstering out that defensive midfield sort of zone. And I alluded to in the previous season how we'd got Gutierrez at left back, Gelert at right back, and Mark Guehi as one of our centre backs. Well, Nathan Zeze from Nantes, £60 million, a youngster with absolute terrific potential according to the star rating. He looks pretty good, great heading, 6'3", good jumping reach, quite strong. Just a very well-rounded young centre back who will grow into the role and become probably the next Mark Guehi. So again, we've now sort of cemented our defensive positions, and we'll only really be buying squad options or, you know, someone's really world class. Will he sort of sneak themselves in? So yeah, Nathan Zeze, which left us pretty broke, pretty skint really. You know, because we had £60 million to spend, so we spent like 53 million pounds here. Got £60 million in for Nketiah, £60 million out there, so we've got about £8 million left to spend. So I sold Sarr for £18 million. Al Ittihad. Jefferson Lerma also left for 12 million, rising to 15. Weston McKennie didn't really feature last season, just 4 games all season. £10 million to Crystal Palace. £10 million from us to Al Hazem. Rob Holding went out to Birmingham for £3.2 million, and some of those transfers over for Andre, Zeze, and Bargi, they may have included some instalments, so I probably had a little bit more money to spend. And there was a player who had a release clause of £95 million, and I begged, borrowed, stole, and I did everything I could to sort of manipulate as much transfer budget as I could into the club. I even loaned out like Moretti, who wasn't really playing that much, that saved us some wages, and I moved it into transfer budget, and I just ticked over the £95 million, and I signed Benjamin Sesko. He wanted £170,000 a week, which is why I was £75,000 over budget in terms of our wages. But look at him. Benjamin Sesko in the flesh. He is the man, the myth, the legend. We talk about Rooney Bargi being one of my favourites. This guy is also one of my favourites. In years gone by, I'd be desperate for Man United to sign Sesko and Rooney Bargi. I am now desperate for them not to sign them, because I'm terrified they're going to ruin them, and Sesko and Bargi are going to just be the next Anthony Martial and Jadon Sancho, I guess. I mean, I know Sesko doesn't play the same position as Sancho, but, you know, just a complete flop from where they were with all the potential and all the hype. So yeah, Benny Sesko is in at the club. 3 games in the Premier League, 4 goals already. He's hit the ground running, as have we, with 3 games. 5-2 against Aston Villa, a 5-1 against Brighton, and a 2-0 against Brentford. We're in the Champions League once again. We've got Bilbao. We've got Liverpool in the Carabao Cup 3rd round. We've got Napoli. We've got Man City. We've got Real Sociedad. We've got Freiburg, FC Copenhagen, a return for Rooney Bargi, and then Blue Neri or Inter Milan, and Ajax as our 8 games. So can we qualify once again? And can we go one better in the league than 4th? Go and find out. End of season 3, incoming. Well, there you go then. So I don't know what's happened, but I've gone to look at my end of season 3 save file, and for some reason, unbeknownst to me, it's 7 games in. So I've had to come to the end of the transfer window for season 4. We're just going to go back and look at how we did. 106 goals, 46 conceded, 90 points, 8 points clear of Liverpool. We won the bloody league. Erling Haaland was a top goal scorer with 38. Sickening. Benjamin Sesko in his debut season, 31 games, 32 goals. Considering Kamada got the golden boot with 19, Sesko can feel very aggrieved at not getting the golden boot there with 32 goals. Pretty sickening, isn't it? Erling Haaland did Erling Haaland things, didn't he? So yeah, there you go. We won the league. But what else did we win? Well, we'll go down the schedule. Now, in terms of the league phase, we did pretty badly to start with. We lost against Bilbao, and then we lost in the Carabao Cup. So we already out of the Carabao Cup. Then the Champions League, we did beat Napoli, we did beat Man City, lost to Sociedad, arguably losing the easier games and winning the harder ones. We beat Freiburg, then we lost to Copenhagen. We beat Woking in the FA Cup, then we qualified, I think, for it would be drawing against Inter and beating Ajax. We got through in the 4th round of the FA Cup. Then the 5th round against Wrexham. We beat Benfica in the knockout playoff round. We then lost to Liverpool 4-3 in the round of 16. The FA Cup quarter-final, 4-3 we beat West Ham. After extra time, Crysencio Somerville in the 91st minute, forcing extra time. Then we beat Leeds 6-5. What a game that would have been to watch. Then we won the semi-final against Liverpool in the FA Cup. And then in the final against Brighton, we won on penalties, a brace for Benjamin Sesko. So he essentially, last season, scored 38 in 42 games. An FA Cup win, a league win. We also won the Carabao Cup earlier. The domestic side of things has been ticked off. But we do have Europe that we need to contend with. And as we're now too good, it's either Champions League or nothing. How much did we have to spend? I can't remember. Original budget was £108,000. What? I'm not sure what happened there. Let's have a look at the transfers. Can't look at all the stats of all the teams and everything and what we did. But that's just how we did. We won the FA Cup, we won the league. So we bought Luka Vrancic for £8.25 million. We also bought Nathaniel Brown at left back. Obviously needed left back, £10 million. We bought James Trafford from Burnley for £35.5 million. That was his release clause. I felt at goalkeeper wise, that was where we were a bit weaker. So why not go and get someone of his ilk? And then a season after we signed him for £35 million, Newcastle came in for Andre, £48 million. He didn't did I want to keep him? Yes. Did I want to sell him for £48 million? Yes. So I did sell him for £48 million. Nice profit. Chris Richards also left to go to Saudi Arabia for £45 million. Now, again, he was very good, very versatile, and he did a good job for us. But when money like that comes in for someone like him, no offence, Chris, it was an easy decision to make. So we had quite a bit of money to spend. Actually, that was in January, Chris Richards going, 18th of the 1st. I must have sold Chris Richards when things were probably going badly in terms of the finances for the club because of the Benjamin Sesko deal and the wages and that. So I got rid of him, yeah. And so, yeah, then I sold Andre and I bought these guys in. And then we've sold Jesuran Raksaki to Forest for £22 million and Chadi Riyad to Wolves for 11.5. And Martin Vitic came in for free, who, well, 70k, but he was a free transfer. He was the reason I sold Andre, actually, because he could play defensive midfield. I thought, you know what? Ready-made replacement. We'll sell him. We'll get some money in. We'll try and balance the books because I ain't selling Benjamin Sesko or Rooney Bargy. The start of this season, as you can see here, we are currently first in the league once again. 7.8 from Maurice Kiergaard, who is, again, he's not really improved that much now. He's looking pretty decent. Top goal scorer, Adam Wharton, 4 goals. He looks better and better every time we come back, doesn't he? Just look at how good he looks. Don't know where Benjamin Sesko is, though, in terms of the goal scoring. Oh, he's injured. Out for 2 to 4 weeks. Fabio Moretti's not happy. Left out of the Champions League squad, understandably so. Rooney Bargy, how did he do in his debut season then? He's not really kicked on, value-wise he has. He's getting £130,000 a week. A lot of appearances off the bench, 1 goal, 8 assists. Not the best. Not the best. But we are now top of the league. We have won the league. We've won the FA Cup, won the Carabao Cup. Up next is the Champions League, isn't it? The qualify for the Europa League is the board's objective. We're getting a B+, and we're getting a B from the supporters. Develop players using the club's youth system. They are devastated. Watson been fantastic in the transfer market. Yet you can't develop players in the club's youth system. No buggers coming through. Let's look at the under-18s then. Right, look at the under-18s. They're all real people. There's no regens to speak of. They're all crap. They've just all been arrived and let go. So there you are. Right. So let's go to the end of season 4. Hopefully I've not made a mess with the save file. So once again, so I didn't make a mess of the save file. And the one time I did, we bloody won the league. So how depressing is that? But as you can see here, Benjamin Sesko, 16 goals to Erling Haaland's 28. He's second once again. This time comprehensively beaten. Didn't deserve the golden boot with that performance. We finished third as well. 3 points off the pace. We drew on the final day of the season. We also lost. We've literally thrown it away. Oh, God. Oh, no, we didn't. We were second. Anyway, we're top for a bit. But, we've got a new signing. Hopefully we can go and win the league with this one. Oh, yeah. Camera's that way. Look. There's you. You see? Say hello. Have you always dreamed to play for this club? He's waving. No. He's absolutely soaked. Him and his mum have just come upstairs because he's got wet washing his hands apparently. And yeah, he is wet. So now I'm very wet. But I thought he'd come in and poke stuff and press buttons and I don't know. Say that, yeah. Over there. Get off the mic. Want some socks? Haven't you not? Right. Time to go for an outfit change, isn't it? Go and get your kit on. Your new signing. Come and play up front next season.
Oh.
I like the sound of that. Central midfield? No response.
Ooh.
Oh. Right. Off he goes. Say bye. Yeah, he's waving. Oh, yeah. Absolutely soaked now down this left-hand side. I could change clothes, but, you know, why bother? Right, where were we before the new signing came in and gave that very eloquent interview? Yeah, we threw the league away. I mean, we didn't throw the league away. It didn't seem like we were top, but I feel like with dropping 5 points in the final, I suppose Liverpool dropped 4. So Liverpool threw it away. Yeah, it was Liverpool that threw it away, and United came out of absolutely bloody nowhere, won the league. Darren Fletcher's in charge of United. Yeah, Darren Fletcher's in charge of Man United. He's been there for just a year and a half. He's won the Premier League. Didier Deschamps got sacked after about a month less. Big Eric Ten Hag, despite winning the Carabao Cup in that first season, also got sacked. Shades of real life. So yeah, we've disappointing with the league there, unfortunately. How do we do in other competitions? Well, we lost in the Carabao Cup quarter-final to Liverpool. Once again, going out to Liverpool. Champions League. Did we qualify? So we beat Fulham in the 5th round of the FA Cup. And we got lost to Roma in the round of 16 in the Champions League. That's disappointing, isn't it? Quarter-final against Chelsea, and then we lost to Ipswich in the semi-final. Championship Ipswich as well. Bloody hell. Who won the final? Man City. Of course they did. Of course they bloody did. The championship opposition. That's irritated me, that has. We could have had a second FA Cup to our name. So we've won sod all this season. So all we've got to our name is a Carabao Cup, an FA Cup, and a Premier League. 4 years in. To be honest, that's probably a bit more success than I was expecting, because I am notoriously quite bad at this game. You know, there's a lot of people out there who would probably have already won a Champions League. Let's be real. I don't think I'm going to season 5. Let's go and have a look at what I did transfer-wise in a moment. Benny Sesko, 23 goals, not enough. 20 goals for Kiergaard and 20 for Magno. Tallis Magno's been fantastic, hasn't he? You know, he's not improved greatly. He's still much of a muchness in terms of his attributes. But 20 goals, 15 assists. I'm talking about 12 and 12 for Bargi. Wilfred Nonto did pretty well as well. He's kind of at his potential. He's worth a lot. I'd probably welcome selling him. Adam Wharton, we've seen 9 and 9 there. He is just absolutely out of this world. He is disgustingly good, and he's wanted by Manchester United. His contract expires in 4 years' time. There's absolutely no way. They haven't got enough money in the game to price him away from me, because I wouldn't be able to replace him. Like, there's nobody who's that good that would want to come to me at this moment in time, I don't think. There's no way they'd pay £350 million. So each wouldn't be worthwhile. There's no way. No way at all. And yeah, that's sort of kind of it, really. How much have we got to spend? £17.5 million. I feel like we've been done absolutely. I feel like we've been mugged right off. We've got £300,000 a week in wages available, but the committed spending is £155,000. Have we already made signings at this point? No. We sold Vicente Pizarro as well for £26 million to Al Hilal in January to balance the books again. Oh my God, nightmare. What are we? We must have offered some contracts or something. I don't know. Can't remember. It's been a while since I played this. It's been a while since I finished this. I finished this. I intended to record this the week before my daughter was born. She's a month old now. But such as life has been with the tiredness and the lack of sleep and the lack of ability to come and record videos, just finding that balance of getting in and amongst it. So yeah, here we are doing this rebuild after the FA Cup final, when I'd finished it well before. Anyway, let's go to the end of the transfer window of season 5 and see our final dealings as Crystal Palace manager. We're not top of the league for once. We've lost to Liverpool. We beat Southampton, Oxford and Brighton though. Aston Villa are top. We're not doing too bad. Let's look at the transfers then. Free. Ousmane Diamonde. We brought him in. He was available for free. So I thought, why not? Yes, he's very meta centre-back, very young. You know, him, Scalvini and Antonio Silva. They're your big three, aren't they? When you're a reasonably big club and you can attract them, you get them. No one came in and no one bought Diamonde. He was still at Sporting Lisbon. So, yeah. Contract expiring, available on a free. Don't mind if we do. That's where the money was. I must have already pre-arranged that. 165k a week. Makes perfect sense now. Memory. Well, not memory. Whatever. Per share. Per shares. Also a centre-back. Also a free. 135k a week. We've done very well for free transfers. Ridvan Yilmaz, left-back from Rangers. 19.75. Just a backup, I guess. And Junior Krupi from Liverpool. I remember when Liverpool signed him a few seasons ago, I also went in for him from Lorient, and he chose them over us. But over the course of 3 seasons, he made 25 appearances for Liverpool and was ultimately dissatisfied. And he was available for cheap, 18.25 million. I bought him. I don't see much happening with him. He's a bit old to progress, and he's probably not going to hit his potential. And also, we're going to be gone at the end of the season. But, you know, I thought I'd buy him just because, and we'll see what comes of it in the future. Because what I'm going to do, what I did at the end of this 5 years, is I did resign and I did simulate on and see if anyone can carry on my legacy. So, Maxence Lacroix, £45 million to Al Ittihad. So he's very much easily replaced by Ousmane Diamonde, which £45 million straight in the bank. And that's it. That's all in terms of the sale. So that's where some of this money went, because I did have sod all, didn't I? Got £5 million left, and I've got a couple of £100,000 or £130,000 in wages. I've had to renew some contracts, and I also got that other free transfer. So yeah, financially we're not doing the best, but it is what it is. So that's it. That's the end of the transfer dealings. Let's go to the end of season 5, and we get another trophy. We can't get another Premier League. We finished fourth. That's really disappointing. 9 points off the pace. Benjamin Sesko gets his golden boot. Adam Wharton, top assist. 18 assists to Raheem Sterling's 12. Rooney Bargi on 11 as well. I mean, we scored 95 goals. We conceded 54. We're not good enough defensively. We've got Ousmane Diamonde. We've got Mark Guehi. We've got Zeze. We've got some great centre-backs. We've got some great 2 defensive midfielders we're playing. And we're just leaking goals. We've got a really reasonably decent keeper in James Trafford. Disappointing. Very disappointing. The squad. 40 goals for Benny Sesko. That's more like it. Omega out on loan, 16 goals. Talas Magno, 16-11. Again, great. Moritz Kjærgaard. He played 55 times this season. This is probably why we're not winning stuff. 55 games for this guy. He's good. He should be a squad option. He should not be first name on the team sheet. Did anyone play more than him? Only James Trafford, the goalkeeper. No one else we've got in the 50s. Rooney Bargi, 11 goals, 16 assists. Adam Wharton, 20 assists. And yeah, I mean, Wilfred Nonto, very muted seasons, despite playing 46 games, 8-4. Not good enough, is it? It just genuinely isn't good enough. So yeah, that's the end of that. Let's have a look at the other competitions. So let's go straight to the Carabao. And we were in the second round. The third round, we beat Aston Villa 4-1. The fourth round, we beat Middlesbrough 2-0. The quarter-final, we lost to Newcastle. Underwhelming. FA Cup, we beat Stoke City in the third round. The fourth round, we beat Newcastle United. The fifth round, we beat West Brom. The quarter-final, we beat Sheffield United. The semi-final, we lost to Aston Villa after extra time. It all comes down to this. The Champions League. We came 11th in the league phase, losing to Barcelona, Benfica and Atletico Madrid. We beat Salzburg, Astana, Celtic, Marseille and Rennes. I'll be honest with you, I'd expect to win all those games. If you're going to go in the Champions League, I mean, Barcelona finished in 10th. They weren't great. I mean, Benfica were up in 4th. I don't know. That's disappointed me. We got through against Copenhagen in the knockout playoff round 7-2. The round of 16. We lost 6-0 to Chelsea in L. We lost 5-0 there at home. Oh, well, that's how demoralising is that? Getting knocked out 6-0 in the round of 16. Lost in the semi-final of the bloody FA Cup. Lost in the whatever round of the Carabao Cup. 4th in the league, our worst position since we've equalled season 2. We've never finished lower than 5th. It just, I mean, very, very damp ending, isn't it? £9 million to spend. Have we bought anyone? Has something happened? No. Okay. £9 million. Underwhelming, isn't it? Right, well, anyway, I did resign. Let's go forward, and I'll just quickly skip through a couple of seasons and just see what happens. Well, Marco Rosa's come in 340 days ago and finished 7th. He's got sod all money to spend. He sold Ridvan Yilmaz. That's fine. He was brought in as a backup left back. I don't begrudge him getting rid of him. Omega's gone out on loan again. He's now available on a free transfer, so he could never be sold. That's a bit underwhelming. He had a great season, and then he got replaced by Ben Sesko. I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Did they do anything else? Quarter-final of the FA Cup elimination. Round of 16, and they get to Bayern Munich in the Champions League. Where's the Carabao? 4th round to Man City, so a trophyless season. Crystal Palace. 31 goals for Benny Sesko. Can we move? It's getting worse. 8th. Ben Sesko got 35 goals. Despite getting 35 goals, they finished 8th. Marco Rosa's still got a job. What? I'm sorry. Why? But £25 million. They've got no money, right? They sold Adam Wharton to Liverpool for £227 million. And he's basically had no money to go and spend. 25 million. He's bought these players. I can't even be asked to look at them. I'm really annoyed at that. £44 million in the hole. What? I'm fuming. I'm going to put all these save files, and so you can pick these up wherever you put, or whatever save point you want. End of any season, except end of season 3, I guess, because I didn't have it. On my Patreon. So you can take over and see if you can do better than the bloody AI, Marco Rose. 3 more years we'll go through. I'll tell you now, if he sells Ben Sesko, I might be sick. Literally be sick on camera. And that'll just be the end of the video. 9th, Europa League football. Right, he's won a Conference League. All right, he's won a Europa Conference League. That's annoyed me. Because he shouldn't even be in the Conference League. Not with the players I've sorted him out with. 3-2 win against Bilbao. Erling Haaland, top goal scorer. Marco Rose just left. He didn't get sacked. That's annoyed me again. He's now the manager of Arsenal. Oh, I'm raging. Genuinely, I'm fuming. At least Ben Sesko's still here. Right, what happened in the transfer market? They sold Ousmane Diamonde to Man City for £62 million, rising to 79. Of course. They bought him in for free. Honestly, these players are awful. Oh, absolutely horrific. Martin Vittik's now been sent out on loan. Oh, we got loads of centre-backs, have we? Gone on loan to Barcelona. Yeah, can't find a place for this guy. Who's playing centre-backs then? Oh. Did I buy this guy and leave him on loan for a season? No, I didn't, because he came in 2029. Okay, this guy. I didn't look at them all. He's all right. Martin Guerhy's now playing defensive midfield. Are you joking? Who's this Nathan Thomas geezer? £33 million from Everton. All right. Nathan Zeze. He looks pretty good. Okay. I've gone to 2035, 4 more years, and then that's it. I'm not simmed any further. Right, so where are we? Crystal Palace have just finished 8th in the Premier League, and they've won a second Conference League. Thomas Tuchel's in charge. They've also won a Europa League in 2033. Ben Sesko is still here. £266 million in the hole. Don't know what's happening. Why have they got no money? I was not this careless with the transfers. I'm telling you now. That's not my doing. Martin Vittik went to Barcelona for £70 million. They brought a couple of players in. No one really left the following season, nor the season after that, nor this season really. Yeah, okay. And where have we finished then? The last few years. Wow, 7th, 12th, and a couple of 8ths. Just the one Carabao Cup for us in the very first season. No FA Cup since we won it in 25-26 either. So all the success really came. I mean, we didn't get anything in Europe, but we were too good for being in the Europa League and Conference League. They've sort of fallen away, and there we go. Lucas Rodriguez. This guy looks all right. £8 million from River. Hey, he signed in 2026. Left on loan. I bought him. Hey, this is my doing. You're welcome. My legacy lives on. Benjamin Sesko, still here. Phenomenal. Moritz Kiergaard at 31. The Crystal Palace legend. Favoured personnel. Legends. Wilfred Zaha. I'm nowhere to be seen. Nowhere to be seen yet. I won a Premier League. Livid. Absolutely livid. Right. End of the rebuild. I did all right, didn't I? I did all right. Suggestions below of teams you want me to do a rebuild with, because I have had a lot of fun with this. I really did enjoy it, and I want to try some teams abroad. I also want to try some teams in lower leagues as well, just to sort of vary things up. So yeah, suggestions down below. Like the video if you haven't already, and yeah, please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Most importantly though, take good care of yourselves. See you soon.